This is probably a lock that most of you have never seen before. This is a Castle lock sent in by Vitali. He said he bought it in Taiwan. It's not very large, as you can see, but look how thick this little thing is. Very dense little lock. Definitely not high security with a thin little shackle like that. It's the Castle brand. The weirdness on this lock comes in when you take a look at this keyway. This is truly one of the weirdest keyways I think I have ever seen. Looks like a little H with little legs on each arm of the H. And I don't know if you can make them out. I'm going to shine a little light down in there. I think you can probably see that there are opposing dimple pins. So there's 4 pins on the top, 4 pins on the bottom. And if that isn't bad enough, let's take a look at the key. There's your dimples, but you'll notice on the top there's also cuts for another lock, a pin tumbler. I thought it at first was a wafer because they're mirror images of each other, but in fact this is a pin tumbler. The key obviously has got a kind of a weird shape to fit into that keyway. It works beautifully, very smooth, but we don't care about that key. Let's figure out how to pick this little Castle. Give me a minute. Let's clamp it up and see what this thing's got. All right, got that baby clamped up. It does work smoothly. When you turn it, though, it doesn't turn very much. It only turns about 1/8 of a rotation. You heard the lock. Let me lock it up again. You can hear it. Just barely makes a noise when it comes open, but you'll hear that hopefully when we get it turned. All right. I am going to tension this thing. It took me a little while to figure out how to do it. First of all, I'm going to use a little serrated tensioner, and I'm going to put it right here in the bottom. Just kind of hang it right there. You probably saw all the pins down the center, and I'm going to reach those by using the small flag from the Sauber kit. I'm just going to slide it right down the side here, and I found that I can reach both the top and the bottom by doing that. The thing I had a little trouble figuring out was the pin tumbler lock. The pin tumbler lock, I couldn't find it because I slid my pick down both sides, and on this side it's perfectly slick. Absolutely nothing on this side. But when you slide it down this side, both from the top and the bottom, you can feel, if you slide the pick in and angle it towards the center, you can feel the pin tumbler pins sticking out. I'm not really sure. They feel more like ball bearings than they do actual pin tumblers, but they are definitely there. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing picked. I am going to put this right there, slide my hand beneath the camera, try to keep some tension on that thing, and then going right from the middle. Let's try to pick the dimples first, I guess, and if they get no resistance from them, then we'll try to pick those little ball bearings over there. All right, heavy tension. I'm going to try, just like any dimple lock, try to find a binder. Okay, it was pin 1 on the bottom. I got a click. The rest of these are springy. There's nothing to index your pick against, so you kind of have to freehand it. Okay, that was pin 3 on the bottom. Nothing to guide you. Makes it a little harder. Whenever I lose track of where I am, I'll just pull it out and then re-index on my finger and then try it again. Game on 3. Well, I think he's still springy. If I don't find something quick, what I'm going to do is just go... Okay, that was pin 2. I was going to say, when I don't find something quick, I'll just move to the side lock first and see if I can pick him and then come back to the ball bearings. Or to the dimples, rather. Okay, that was pin 2 on the top. I got nothing showing for my work, though, on the core. No turn. Okay, I got nothing showing. All right, what I'm going to do now is take the hybrid pick from Sparrows, because it's the smallest one I have, and see if I can't just slide him down the side here. Now, what I've noticed is when I put him in there, I'm not going to be able to lever him like we normally do against the bottom of the keyway or warding, because there is no warding. I'm actually up against the dimple pins down the center. So if I try to lever those ball bearings or pins out of the way, I'm actually going to overset those center ones. So I'm just going to have to push with my thumb and try to set it that way. If I can get it in there. And there we go. I felt it give. Watch the core. And it is open. All right, that is how you do it. Now let me back this out a little bit. It's a pretty well thought out little locking mechanism. But before I clamped it up, I got to looking. Let's lock it back up. I got to looking at this, and there's a piece of rubber here to prevent water from getting in there, but there's no water on this side. So I decided to take a little shim and just slide him in there, and see if I can make this happen again. It's a little difficult to get him in, but he does go in there. So that's a lot faster than trying to pick that difficult mechanism. Now, why they put so much thought into this very difficult to pick mechanism and then not shield the lock against shimming, I have no idea. But still, if you're looking for a really cool, fun, and different pick job, you might want to take a look at one of these little castles. Anyway, fellas, thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal. Vitali, thank you, sir, for sending me this high mileage lock. It's pretty cool. Thanks, guys.